Controversy in Little Chute over a decision by the school district administrator allowing Vice President Kamala Harris to hold a political rally at the high school. The event was held the Friday before the election after classes were let out. Some parents say any decision to allow a rally aimed at getting out the vote for a particular candidate should have required school board approval. However, others feel it was an opportunity for learning. Both sides spoke out tonight during a school board meeting, even though the item was not on the agenda.
Our American democracy thrives on the free and open exchange of ideas. Whether one agrees or disagrees with the speaker's message, this rally was an important lesson in citizenship and civic engagement for our students.
Teach civics, teach about our electoral process, teach about it in a objective manner. But we don't, when we have a volatile election like we just had, we don't need that here. This is not the place for that.
Since the item was not on the agenda, the school board members could not comment and the district administrator did not address the issue.